Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark
and Jocelyn with Wolters World, and today we're going to answer one of our patrons' questions.
and Andy H, because we need to keep this anonymous just in case things haven't happened yet. Andy is going with his girlfriend and he wants to propose to her. And he asked us, Mark, do you have any advice for proposing when you're traveling? Well, the first thing I would say, he also asked if we, something like that happened with us, and actually we did get engaged while we were traveling.
We went to Venice and it was really kind of cool. Mark sort of rolled with it. He had picked up me up at the airport, and I had my suitcase and everything, and we were walking to our hotel, and before we even got there, we had stopped on this little Vaporetto stop at on the Grand Canal, and it was like out of the way and really sweet, and Mark proposed there.
Yeah, but the thing is I want to tell you one of those tips I'm going to have to use. Actually, be the last one we're going to talk about that deals with our exact situation. But I think the first, before you even get started on advice when you want to propose when you travel, the first thing you really got to think about is make sure she's actually going to say yes, or he is going to say yes, whoever you're asking. Because if not, it might be a little bit awkward the rest of the trip if you ask day one, day two, and you've still got like 10 days and they said no, or let me think about it. Yeah, that makes things really, really awkward. So make sure they're going to say yes, or put it towards the end of the vacation, okay? Now, the first tip I have for you is actually before you even go anywhere is make sure you never pack that engagement ring in your check bags. You want to have it in carry-on. You want to have it with you because it can go disappearing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we say that with anything of value, but particularly that don't take it off your person except to go through security.
Yeah. Now, the next thing I want to say is my next advice for you is whatever city you're going to do it in, don't plan just one spot. Have multiple spots that are out there. So if you're in, if you're in Paris, a lot of people get engaged on the Eiffel Tower, at the Arc de Triomphe, or something like that. You want to have multiple spots.
Did you have multiple spots in Venice?
No, I did not have multiple spots in Venice. It just flowed.
We're sort of that way, though. We're sort of fly by the seat of your pants couple.
Yeah. So. But the thing is you want to have some ideas, because what might happen is the day you're at the Eiffel Tower, it might be raining, or you might, things aren't going along, or you've been smushed together in those elevators for so long. You're like, I don't want to be this close to you, and I don't want to be this close to you forever. You might not want that. So you want to kind of play, make sure you have other options out there.
Do it when it feels right, because that's when it's most genuine.
And that's the thing that's the next tip we have for you is make sure you're very flexible where you ask, because you never know when it's going to be the perfect time to ask. Like in Paris, tell me about.
We were walking through behind the Louvre, still on the grounds of the Louvre, and we walked into this courtyard and there was no one there, and it was just the two of us. It was the most romantic moment. And Mark got down on his knee. He didn't have a ring, and we were not ready for that. But it really could have been like the most sweet and wonderful, amazing moment. But it was totally unplanned. We both felt it. We both knew that moment.
Yeah, right? and that's the thing that's how when we got engaged in Venice, we didn't go to the Piazza San Marco. We weren't and it was one of these things. We came up on this side street on the Grand Canal. This church Jocelyn was looking at. She's like, oh, we started this in architectural history. I'm like, and I knew I could see in her eyes that
it was a memorable place.
It was a memorable place. And so what I actually did, this is, back in the day where you used real cameras, not just phones and selfie it. What I did was I actually set up a tripod, and on the tripod I put it up there like we're going to take a normal picture, but I pushed record on the video, and I'm sure I'm showing that video over the top of this right now. Well, no,
I'd been on a plane for 20 hours.
Yeah, well, anyway, because that's why it was a special thing. And so I did it, and I asked her, and she was of course, she said yes of course, because who wouldn't want to be with this squishy guy? I wasn't quite as squishy then, but it really worked out really nicely that time, so it makes a much more special place. So whenever we go back to Venice, we find our back alley, our back way.
Stop in that one little tiny spot, and you know what? I don't even think about the church there anymore, because it's our place. We've taken our kids there, and this is where it all started. And I don't know, it's pretty I don't know, it's just important to me.
And that's the thing is when you do that, that city becomes important to you, that spot becomes important to you. It's something that stays with you forever. So Andy, good luck, my friend. I hope she says yes.
Many years.
And many years together. And we wish all of you fantastic proposals if you're going out there. And the thing is, if you're a member on our YouTube channel or you're a patron on Patreon, we like taking your questions and making videos out and to say thank you, but also to help out other travelers as well.
Absolutely.
So if you want to learn more, you go to patreon.com/WoltersWorld, or you can click that join button down below on YouTube, and you help join other fellow travelers, help us keep making honest travel videos and more travel advice. So
Andy,
we'll say
thanks for your patronage, and goodbye from Aruba.
Bye.